Are you two still living?
Yeah, and what...
Dude, don't even bother saying a word. A boot has no quarrel with an ant.
I know, Loki J, but let me just get in one more. I swear, it'll be subtle. You're listening to the Skeleton Crew. Exclusively on websites with more traffic than 4 people a month.
We decided that we didn't want to do 4 people. We weighed the option of doing that, and we thought that, we would try to branch out and get more people involved, which is a silly thing.
Oh, come on. You didn't really think I would ever do a single show there, did you?
Hey, Cat! For me, it's nothing but the best. All the time.
Yes, sir, I'm done slumming it up.
I know, and we're going to get back to shows that jump the shark in a minute, but right now, we just want to make a little announcement. Starting June 12th, we will be doing an in-depth look at the Sleepaway Camp franchise to kick the summer off like we should, with a little bit of Angela Baker. So look for those shows around June 12th. We're going to break it up into 4 parts. We're probably going to release it every Tuesday and Friday for those 2 weeks. Now, the term jump the shark is a common reference to when a show or a franchise or series of movies go bad. But I'm going to give you a quick 30-second technical reason of why it's called jump the shark. Jump the shark is an idiom that is used to describe the moment in the
Wait, before we get to the jump the shark, please let me just tell you this. I just read it on Twitter, and it's amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll appreciate it.
Totally unprofessional.
Yeah, well, this is how it works, I think, on this level. Yeah, on Twitter I read something just now, and I think you'll enjoy it, because I certainly did. Guess what was officially green-lighted? Or green-lit, I'm sorry, not green-lighted, green-lit.
Halloween 3.
No, this is even better than Halloween 3.
Friday 13th Part 2.
No, I wish, but no.
Can I get one more guess?
Yeah, okay, go ahead, give me.
Cum Receptacles 4.
No. No, this is even better than that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's the ABC Family series, Melissa and Joey, that stars Joey Lawrence and Melissa Joan Hart. It's been greenlit for a 2nd season. That's exciting.
Jump the shark is an idiom that is used, not an idiot like Mike, an idiom that is used to describe the moment in the evolution of a horror franchise when it begins to decline in quality that is beyond recovery. This usually takes place when the writers use some type of gimmick in a desperate attempt to keep viewers' interest. It referred to the point in a horror franchise's history when the protagonist had outlived his freshness and the viewers had begun to feel that the movie's writers were out of new ideas. The phrase jump the shark comes from a scene in the 5th season premiere episode of Happy Days, titled Hollywood Part 3, in an episode where a water-skiing Fonzie wearing swim trunks and his trademark leather jacket jump over a confined shark, answering a challenge to demonstrate his bravery.
Awesome episode.
Yeah, right. Now, when I was a kid and I saw Fonzie do that, I knew that something went wrong with this show.
Even at that young age, Alex, you could tell that they jumped the shark.
Yeah, well, at that young age, I said something went wrong with this show. Like, what is this? Mm-hmm. I think I really noticed when he was sitting on the beach and he was wearing his leather jacket.
I think an idea, two guys, can only go so far, you know?
Yeah, we're going to pinpoint exactly where each horror franchise lost its good writing, direction, whatever you want to call it. It's
pizzazz.
It's spark, it's fire. Where it all just went like
oomph.
Yeah. So, where do you want to begin? We could start with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a good one to start with.
All right, part 1, perfect, right?
Agreed.
I mean, it felt like real life. It felt like a documentary. The acting was solid as a rock. Filming was awesome. It was grainy. It was real. It was gritty. Awesome kills. It was shocking.
shocking, and it had an effect on me. It really scared me. That was one of those movies that really got to me.
Yeah.
Edwin Neal as the hitchhiker scared me half to death.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
He's sitting there, he's like, ooh, and he has that switch blade, and he's like cutting his hand, and I'm like, ugh. I was hoping that the guy in the wheelchair in the van would die, though.
Here we go with Mike's gimp hate.
No, I just had to throw that in there. I hope that he would.
I thought you guys were supposed to band together.
No. Mike wants all the sympathy and attention.
You know.
Anyway. So anyway, yeah, when he was cutting himself up in that van, I felt like I was in that van with them, like looking at this guy, dude. That's how much that movie pulled me in right away. And I'll tell you what, this is no lie. When I first watched it, when I first got into quote-unquote modern horror, because I told you I was a classic guy before I became like a Jason, Freddy, or not, I never became Freddy, but Jason, Michael guy and all that stuff.
It's a good way to start, too.
Yeah. Classics are the good way. It's, because that way you appreciate them more than if you had to go back and see a more tame movie,
And plus you have a better understanding of the evolution of them, so.
Right, yeah, there you go. So, when I was done watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I seriously turned the TV off and just sat there for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
I'm not kidding. I really did. And I was about 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I still did that because I know I should have been like, I should have already been numb to that, but I don't know, man. I still thought it was that good. And I was shocked. Yeah. And then we get to part 2.
Oh, God.
No, Bill Moseley was great in that. Get him in the face! Get her! Get her! In the radio station?
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we know the radio station. Yeah, we get your reference.
Get it? Because it's your dog. Yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah.
This went horribly wrong. The comedy. Why? How do you watch part 1 and say, you know what part 2 needs? It needs to be funny. It needs to be outlandish and crazy and over the top 80s like everything else that's happening right now. And I'm not even sure. What year was that, Mike?
86.
Okay, then it was happening. It probably watched Jason Freaking Lives and said, okay, that's where we're going here, I suppose.
I disagree, but okay.
Dude, Mike, you really do like this movie, though, like,
I love
legitimately.
it. I think that it's great.
Come on. Dude, Dennis Hopper's
what's
in
wrong?
it, right?
Dude,
Probably
Dennis
one
Hopper
of the worst
kicks
movies
ass
of
in
his
that
career.
movie. Are you insane? Dennis Hopper kicks total ass in that movie.
That's what I just said. Probably one of his worst movies, though, but he kicks
I
ass in every
disagree.
movie. Now, with that said, dude, there is nothing good about that movie. Dude, looking back, now with Devil's Rejects, I totally have an appreciation for Bill Moseley. Now, other than that, really, like I said, looking back, okay, I can see it, whatever. But if Devil's Rejects was never made, dude, and looking back, I would not say that is the staple of this guy's career, or like that was a high point. Like that character was so comical and over the top, it was so stupid, dude. Like Leatherface, punching through walls and stuff like that. That was completely over the top. Like you can't legitimately say that movie was good. Go.
Dude, oh, please. What about where they lived, dude?
He's in like a cave system. That's neat. It's very, it's like out in the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. And he had Grandpa there, and it was just like a whole big family reunion in the desert. I loved it.
Well, what
So
did
you
you like
thought,
about
Dan-
that? What was scary about that?
Wait, so you thought that it wasn't scary to you when the kids were driving in the car, hitting the mailboxes, and Leatherface is like beside them, trying to get them? You didn't find that scary at all?
Not even close. and furthermore, dude, I just couldn't even barely make it through the movie because it was so ridiculous.
No. I don't think that it went bad until Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning from 1994. I just think that movie was complete and utter garbage.
So
beginning?
you didn't like the beginning,
No,
but
not
you
the
liked
beginning.
Texas Chainsaw 2.
You're thinking of something else.
No. I mean the Next Generation. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
yes,
the Next
okay.
Generation from 1994, not the beginning. I got it. I got them backwards. I'm sorry.
So you like number 3?
Yeah, I like number 3 a lot. I liked Leatherface.
No, three
a lot.
is solid. I saw 3.
Yep.
It is solid.
Yeah, I haven't seen number 3. I've heard mixed reviews, but I'll okay, yep.
Yeah. Mike, here's what I look for in a movie when I see if it's jumping the shark.
Right.
Does it feel like the original? The character growth, does it make sense from prior movies or events? For example, the brother gets fucking mauled by a truck. I don't understand how he's even alive. That's absolutely ridiculous, and it takes the realism out of the movie. So right there, there, it's a joke.
Right, well, then there you go. But look at any other horror franchise that you got. Characters die from the first to the next one. Like Jason dies at the end of every movie.
No. You don't compare this to Jason, because Jason movies are a joke. When you think about, they were always made for fiction. That was always just a goof. This was supposed to be events based on a true story. This is a total other realm.
Not anymore, though. I think by the time the second movie in a franchise
But that's why
happens,
it's jumping. Don't you understand? That's why it's jumping the shark.
Not really, because you just change avenues.
No, that movie isn't based off of stuff like that. You jumped because you went into a direction or you took it somewhere. It's just bad writing. Why did we need that brother there again? I would have been perfectly fine if another character, like if someone else became their slave because they kidnapped him and he begged Leatherface not to kill him. So he said, all right, well, you're our boy now and you kill for us and, like whatever.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been the same if you did that, though.
Well, who cares? It would have been better, probably. It might have been more realistic. Like, I would rather the guy who cleaned the windshield in the first movie to come back. That guy was cool.
Well, let's face it, too, and 2 was a prime example of, the studio taking it, throwing a bigger budget at it, and they didn't know what they were doing as far as telling a story, telling a shocking, fresh story that, like you said, continues the first. Dude, it didn't. It was a different movie. It was basically saying, okay, we're going to throw Texas Chainsaw on it, and that movie was crap.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You can't argue that, dude.
Yeah.
That movie sucks.
Exactly. And in the first one, Leatherface was a creepy-ass mofo, and in the second one, he's some dumbass lunkhead who's like Bebop and Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles.
I still think he was definitely creepy, though.
All right. Well, number 2. Okay, we're gonna do our things. Dan, number 2, jumps the shark.
Absolutely.
All right, number 2 for me. Mike, number 4.
Number 4.
All right, so that means number 2, jump the shark. Let's move on to Puppet Master.
Yeah.
Puppet Master, Part 1, jump the shark.
Part 1, absolutely.
On drugs. Didn't happen.
But
I couldn't get past the dinner scene when all those 80s losers were at the dinner table with the bad haircuts.
The 80s. It was that's typical for the 80s. You come to expect that, so you can't discriminate in that way, shape, or form.
I love the 80s. One of my favorite TV shows in the world is Tales from the Dark Side, and you can't get more 80s than that.
Right.
Now, but the thing is, that's just a terrible movie. I couldn't get into it. I didn't care what the puppets were going to do. It was just boring and stupid. However, I did watch Part 4 and 5 because somebody told me that those have a more of a 80s feel, like the real 80s movies.
Right.
That are relevant and good.
Right.
And I watched both of them. Part 4 was a very good movie. Part 5 was about half of that.
I liked 4 and 5. Look, I like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 is decent. But 3 is where I think they lost it, just because it was a flashback movie where you show Toulon in World War II, and he has the puppets battling the Nazis. I mean, that's
oh my god,
that's a little bit of a stretch for me, honestly.
A little bit.
Mike has a better grasp on when it jumped the shark, so I'm going to go ahead with his vote. I didn't watch them. I only watched 4 and 5. I think Dan was spared of all of them, right?
Absolutely. Those movies just
are
altogether
unwatchable.
Don't offer.
Wait a minute, though.
Anything.
What
Good
about
or
Leech
bad. It
Woman?
just doesn't offer anything.
At the one scene when the dude's in the bed and she is up on him and spits the leech, spits the leech into his mouth. And he's like. And then Tunneler comes in and
you just
drills him in
choking
the
on
head.
something, Mike?
No, I was just demonstrating what it sounded like when Leech Woman kind of, spitted or vomited the leech into the guy's mouth, and then Tunneler came in and in his head with the tunnel.
Dan, I think Mike was choking on something. Here's another clip of Mike choking on something. Okay, there you go.
Wow, that's all I gotta say is wow, dude. You continue to deliver with these drops and
Hey, Just call me Fred Norris. All right. Let's move on. I think a Puppet Master is a waste of all of our times, and I don't want this to be a House 3 moment where people shut the fucking show off.
Wow.
Well, just to break it down, though, real quick, like, I saw it, and I just didn't find anything good in it. That's just my opinion. A lot of people might like that kind of stuff, but that and the Leprechaun series, fuck out of here.
We're not doing Leprechaun this year.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just a kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of one of those just bypass, so.
Well,
moving along.
Let's move along.
You're both wrong, but okay, continue.
Yeah, good. The Lost Boys. The first one, I remember I watched it. I didn't think it was that great. Then, all of a sudden, part 2 and 3 came out, and Mike told me he has all the Blu-rays, so it reignited my interest. I was like, I really didn't hate that first one, so I went and blindly bought all 3 of them because I felt like, wow, that's pretty cool. They made 3 of them, and Corey Feldman's in them. That's cool. All right, and I just bought them blind, and it's because I got 3 for $30. Now it's a good deal either way. So I brought them home. Or I should say Amazon delivered them.
Yeah.
Put the first one in. I was really into the first one. Awesome. Yeah. I felt there's one thing I don't like about part 1 or part 2.
Oh, jeez.
They kill the vampires very easily.
Right. No.
Dude, there's not much of a challenge with a lot of those kills. Like, for example, one that comes to mind is the one in the bathtub or something going after. I don't know if he was attacking somebody, but the guy...
that was awesome with the garlic in the bathtub. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but it was very easy to kill him, though. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, so Lost Boys 2. Everybody in the world thinks that absolutely sucked dick.
It didn't.
It didn't.
Nope. No.
Good.
Everybody in the world but us 3.
Autumn Reeser is
she's hot,
amazing in that film. I love her. I think she's amazingly attractive.
I love that Spanish chick in the beginning.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was dancing at that party, and she says, I follow surfers, and sometimes they follow me, and they went in the stand-up shower, dude.
Right.
Oh, my God. Is she hot or what?
Yeah, dude, she was smoking, dude. The other chick, the lead chick, like you said too, she was really good looking. I like that movie though, and Stifler's brother's in it, which is fantastic, which is great. But see that with that movie, it screams straight to DVD, but at the same time, it's really good, and you could tell it was trying to pay homage to the first one, which they did. Now, I had a little problem with Feldman's voice in the movie. I thought it was too froggish. I thought it was because, dude, this movie was a little bit more in tone, serious tone than the first one, because the first one, it had a serious tone. I'm not saying that, but it was much more jokey and it kind of flowed more like almost like I want to think of like maybe like an E.T. or something like that, like something that anybody could really watch, and besides the vampire killing obviously, but with this one it was kind of more serious, so it didn't really gel as much as the first one. With that said, I liked it. I liked his role in it. I liked how he came back in it. I liked the whole cast. One thing I did not like was the cover of the original song. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The song in that movie.
Cry, little sister.
Horrible cover, dude. This guy tries so hard and just cannot hit the same notes. I don't know if he can't or what, but he just sucks.
Why wouldn't you play the original? I mean, that would be awesome. But here's the thing, though. That movie is one of my favorite horror movies.
Really?
I love the head vampire, Shane. Dude, I love that guy. He's a bad actor, but I like it, though. I don't know why. There's something about his look and how he's just cool and laid back. And I'll tell you what, I hate the guys with him. I really do.
Yeah.
I think those are 3 asshole vampires. And
I did like the beginning scene, though, too, Alex, when they met up with when they had that little confrontation with Savini.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I like when he kicked his head and he hit the spine.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
Good. That was good. We can give it props too, because look at how many vampire movies are out, and even excluding Twilight, everybody wants to go straight to Twilight and rag on it, but there's a lot of vampire movies out that just they've taken it way too far, and this one was kind of simple, not simple in the sense where it
was badass, dude. You got motorcycles, you got chicks, you got parties at the beach, you got surfing and shit. It was just awesome, dude, and it was just a fun time. And Mike, what do you think about this? A lot of people think it was a loose remake. It was almost the same story.
It kind of was, in a lot of ways. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of see that. The only thing was, like, Feldman's character, Edgar Frog, wasn't in it much at all.
And that might have been a good thing, because his acting, I don't know what's wrong with him. I used to feel bad. I used to be like, that's messed up, just because he's a child star, you're going to shun this guy, and what do you think, he forgot how to act? And when I watch these movies, I feel like the answer is yes.
you See, I love Feldman. I met him before at a Monster Mania convention. It was neat. I had to, I almost cried, meeting him just because I was so happy to meet him. But, yeah, I mean, he's definitely different than he was. If you look at him in that movie and then you look at him and say, The Goonies or Stand By Me, it's just totally different. It's totally different performance. They're totally different movies, but
those were genuine performances. And guess what? I'm going to tell you the truth. He wasn't a good actor in Lost Boys 1.
I don't know about that one. I liked him in Lost Boys 1.
Dude, that whole fake voice bullshit, dude, it just doesn't sound real. It sounds like you're acting like, I'm acting. Hi, I'm a vampire killer. I'm acting right now.
No.
It's just...
You know when he sounded really bad? If you watch Lost Boys The Tribe, if you look at him in that movie, it's almost like he's trying to imitate Christian Bale in Batman.
The voice?
Yeah.
Who are you? Where's the vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a vampire killer. Your sister's a bloodsucker. Number one, nobody talks like that. And you know where it really falls flat?
Where's that?
And this is where... I don't think Lost Boys 3 jumped the shark. I think they're shark-free right now. And because 3 wasn't that bad, it was actually pretty interesting.
Right.
It wasn't amazing, and you're right. The 2, I think Dan said it, they scream straight to Blu-ray.
Right.
But they're still fun and good.
Now, do you think if they were to do a Lost Boys 4, which was rumored at one point, but, and they were going to have the return of Corey Haim's character, but then he died, so obviously they couldn't do that. Do you think now if they do a Lost Boys 4 that will be a shark jumper?
Well, it's going to be about werewolves this time.
You think?
Oh, I know it. Didn't you see the end of part 3?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to go that route.
Dude, the girl pulled a Michael Jackson Thriller on you and turned around and looked at the camera with her yellow eyes at the end of the movie.
That'll be a shark jumper, definitely.
Yeah, well, people will say this is supposed to be about vampires and all that, but I don't know. So I guess I don't want to go too long if we don't think it jumps. So it didn't jump.
Right.
I don't think so, no. I like it all around. I mean, you want to talk in the whole spectrum of all movies being made, all time. It's definitely not up there. But like you said, dude, they're fun movies. I can't think of anything that I could pinpoint and be like, oh, that was ridiculous. That was horrible.
No, me neither.
Good series all around, I don't think it jumped the shark at all, so.
I love it. I watched part 2 I watched part 2 about 7 times at this point. So I love it. I love it a lot. So, okay. Exorcist. Let's get to The Exorcist. Now, these are bad movies, and what really pisses me off is that...
the first one is not bad, and the third one is not bad.
That's what pisses me off. I'm not going to agree with the third one, but the first one, I remember I was 21. Mike, you'll memorize this because you're the bookworm or whatever of the show. What year did they re-release?
2000.
Okay, I was 20 years old. I never saw Exorcist. They re-released it in the theater. Right.
I wanted to go, but I didn't have a chance. Dude, see, this is... I saw The Exorcist back. I wanted to go to the theater, but I didn't see it, but I saw it back... Oh, geez. I had to be 15 or 16, I think, when I saw it. But the thing is, it didn't really scare me.
Oh, my God. You're nuts. Dude, I was in that theater like, holy fuck. This movie is unbelievable. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I loved it. I just didn't think it was scary. Now, maybe it was because it was originally released in the 70s, but... No,
Mike. That movie was scarier than anything they've done since involving exorcisms.
Oh, no
Dude,
way.
look at that
Agreed.
piece of dog shit, that last exorcism that they have the balls to have a part 2 of.
Right.
That movie is a pile of rat excrement smeared on a cracker, eaten by a homeless guy, shit out, and eaten by a dog.
Wow. My goodness.
Wow, you hate it.
Yeah, and I think I've explained that in one of our news segments.
Dude, that wasn't even an exorcism movie, though.
It was a joke. It was a waste. It was another throw that word on a movie and we'll sell.
Right.
And that's all that was, that total piece of garbage. And that was not even scary. There was no point to it. It didn't keep you on the edge of your seat. It was a big build-up to nothing, and that just tells you that even though this movie was made in the 70s, look how much better it was than anything coming out today. Even if you throw Exorcist in the title, they can't keep up. Now, okay, we praised this enough. Let's get to the actual jumping parts. That's what the show's about. Now, part 2 was
Total
absolutely...
piece of shit.
Absolutely horrendous. Part 2 was a good concept with a terrible execution. In that movie, like, Reagan gets counseling and shit, and all of a sudden they pull out this machine in the 80s or something. What year? Not that it matters, but the machine allows people to view visions in other people's heads.
Right.
Apparently.
Did I miss out on this?
Retarded. I'm surprised, honestly, I'm surprised that Linda Blair said, you know what, I'll do this movie.
Oh, I can't believe she did that. Like, and it's all about this African tribe with the locusts. It's just mind-numbingly dull and boring. And the scenes where they're, like, looking at her thoughts, and it's that they go on forever, dude. And then, like, she's going against this, like, the devil is called Pazuzu and shit.
Pazuzu, I summon thee, Pazuzu.
Yeah. And then suddenly, like, a psychic is communicating with Reagan all the way from Africa. Like, since when is Reagan psychic?
I can feel it inside me. Deep inside me.
You actually remember any lines from this movie?
No.
Oh, okay. And the thing is, like, now she has another spirit residing inside of her. They spent a whole fucking movie taking one out of her, and there's still one there?
Right.
Well, because it was never really gone.
There was just nothing scary about this. It was just so boring, and it just fell completely flat. Horrible movie. I don't even want to talk about it no more. There we go. So Exorcist 2 jumps the shark. Do we all agree?
Yeah, and the
Yes.
beginning was good. I thought the prequel, Exorcist 4, so to speak.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was a
horrible
good one.
movie. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to a fan favorite, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4.
Let's hear where you're going to go with this one.
I am blown away by that Nightmare on Elm Street Legacy documentary.
Yeah.
Did you both see that?
Oh, absolutely.
More than once, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear how they gushed and went on and on about how Part 4 was so good and
Because
people
it is.
loved it? And people loved it.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Like, when I first saw it, all I could think of is, oh, look, those two guys are back, Kincaid and Joey.
I loved it.
They became parodies of themselves right off the bat. And it's
Yeah,
funny because, oh my God, like,
Good point.
hey, motherfucker! What you do? You know, like, come on, you fucking
No,
asshole.
but that's how he talked in 3.
Dude, get
It's like,
the...
Friday!
I know.
Pussy!
But, dude, there it was genuine, and it was a real
Yeah, but
character.
it was
Now,
genuine there, too. Don't you get it when they're in the junkyard and he's like, I'll see you in hell.
it was a token black guy at that
Oh,
point.
give me a break. I disagree.
He went from a character with a real personality to a token filler parody of himself.
Yeah.
That...
Well, we know all about fillers, don't we? So continue.
But here's the thing, though, Alex, about that movie, number 4.
Yeah.
Now, it is. That's basically all that movie is kind of a parody of itself, where I think, yes, it jumped the shark. Now, me personally, I do like the movie. Now, you said how everybody's in love
You
with it.
do!
Yeah, I like the movie. Now, do I think it jumped the shark? Literally, when Freddy's on the beach in that movie, as a shark, you know? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Isn't that a good telltale sign? Like...
Right. Yeah.
Like talk about like
It's almost 2D.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Freddy literally is a shark.
Right.
Would you imagine? I mean, you could stretch it and say, you know, part one had its hokey moments. He was dark there, but you know, what about when he stretched his arms out and he was scratching the wall and shit like that? Like that was kind of cartoonish, and it does take the. But then again, you could think of it as totally crazy scary. I mean, there's two ways to go there, but I think once you watch the rest of the movies, you look back on that now, and it takes away from it because you know he's a goofy guy.
Right.
And he's not really scary. I mean, dude, everything with this movie, like, I watched it again for this show, and I was like, I couldn't believe people think that this is good. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is a poor man's Michael Cera, and in this...
Yeah,
in
that's
this
a good
movie,
way to put it. Well, who was the poor man's Kincaid in this movie, or whatever?
No. I have another one.
Yeah.
The poor man's Corey Feldman was the guy who the karate guy.
Oh, bullshit! No, he was not.
Dude, that was
That guy
supposed to be
doesn't even
Corey
come
Feldman.
close to what Feldman can do.
They couldn't get Corey Feldman. They hired that jackass.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. Corey Feldman wouldn't do that movie. He was. Look, Corey Feldman was above horror movies at that point, I think.
The dog pissing to get Freddy back to life.
Oh, that was neat.
Yeah.
That was neat.
Yeah. And then how you see all the bones like form and the skeleton forms and the organs like regenerate themselves. Dude, that was kick-ass. I loved that so much.
That was cool. That was cool. But dude, like when Kincaid, like with his death, it was so like quick and awkward. Like he was like yelling, and then all of a sudden, like they pull away from him, yelling in the middle of the whole entire thing, and then the very next scene, Freddy has his claw rammed through the guy's chest. It's like the editing was terrible in that movie.
No, how is it the editing? Because Freddy just appears. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, anyway, like the good parts of that movie were like, I always loved Joey's dreams. He can't go wrong. He always dreams about pretty hot chicks.
Right. Well, Joey only dreamed once in that movie, and then he was dead. So.
Yeah, but in part 3 he dreamed, and that.
Well,
chick
yeah, that was a
smoking.
good dream. That was a very good dream.
And dude, the redhead, she just wasn't a lead actress, man.
No.
Lisa Wilcox.
And what was with that fake smoking the cigarette? That remember when she lit the cigarette and it never actually lit?
Yeah, well, she's trying to be tough at that point.
That's true, Alex. You're right. Dude, I think she was a pretty good actress in that movie, but they jumped the shark in that one. But, dude, a lot of people would argue number 2, you guys. Now, we all like that movie, but you can see and you know there's going to be at least not, if not backlash, there's definitely going to be some people saying number 2 jumped the shark. But with that said, because that's where he got a little, silly or whatever, but by number 3, he was coming with all his little quips and stuff like that. But number 3, Dream Warriors, was different. They took it not too far, I don't think. They did it perfectly as far as the dream sequences go and how far they took it and how they didn't make it too cartoonish. But, a lot of those kind of barely just crossed that line to consider it, quote-unquote jumping the shark, taking it a little too far where it fell off. So I don't think 2, 3, or 4 did it. It's tough because 4, it's borderline, dude, because that's what I'm saying. It's one of those movies where some of it's stupid and over the top, yes, but did that kill it? No, that was one of the highest grossing movies. So that was really
so
big.
What? It was high. I'm going to tell you why it was high grossing. Number 1, because part 3 was so good,
right.
And then everybody who watched part 3 got the video, and then people who didn't go to the movies, they rented it. So all those people now saw it and loved it. So now you got the rental people and the movie people who all went to see part 4. That's why it made the most amount of money. There's no way that it's because of the quality. Need I remind you? Freddy's wearing sunglasses on the beach and he's like, reach out and touch someone.
Mm-hmm. Or want to suck face?
Learning is fun with Freddy. Like, what the fuck? Like,
but
oh
I don't think
God.
that killed it though. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
it
Like I
didn't,
agree,
dude.
dude. I think they went overboard with it. Absolutely, definitely. But I just think like a lot of people like that movie, dude. That's one of their favorites. I'm not saying it's one of my favorites, but I don't hate it. It's dude. Look at past those movies. Go hop forward. 2, 3 movies. All of those movies are pretty much crap.
This is where it started, though, dude. The cheesy 80s shit where she's dressing up as all her friends combined? Are you
And how about the
kidding
guy that
me?
Yeah,
didn't
but
even
that's
fucking
great
fight Freddy?
stuff.
But he just fought nothing, air, you know? That, yeah, dude, it was a little ridiculous. I agree. Dude, I'm agreeing with you. I just think that it wasn't the worst thing ever. Like, I think you're right, though. That was the beginning of the decline. It started with Freddy with sunglasses, and like you said, you know, you want to suck face and all that. It went a little too far, absolutely. And that, you're right, though. That was the beginning of the downfall. Now, after that, I think it progressively got worse.
Oh,
with each
yeah.
one. It was horrible after that. They killed the franchise after every movie. They were just clawing, scraping for anything, and they were coming up empty on every level. So, yeah, you know, it's tough because it is where it jumped the shark. Absolutely, I agree. But I just find it hard to say because that's kind of one of those movies that I do like. But just because it's so mindless and they're taking basically the original idea and just kind of, you know, putting a little extra on it, but not really. It's just another Freddy movie. Freddy's back in it. He's killing people. It's fun, so.
Dude, the idea is good. It was actually a pretty good idea, but it was just pitifully done. Even the boyfriend and Alice, could you care less about any two characters?
They were brother and sister, though. I thought that they were very believable in those characters.
No, the redhead's boyfriend.
Oh, Dan. The brother's friend, Dan, yeah.
The only good things about that movie is like when the chick turned into a roach, and like when Freddy's body was being torn apart by the arms coming out of him. That was so badass, dude. But dude, even if you think of how they killed Freddy by his reflection, are you fucking joking? Like,
Yeah.
how
Well,
much
they
dumber?
didn't kill him like that. He just that's how you knew he was still around because you saw the reflection in the pool at the end.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Come on.
You know, little stuff like that really just fucking bothers me about movies like that. But anyways, moving along.
Yeah, we have to move along. All right. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
5 is where it jumped the shark for me.
Okay, I say 4. Dan?
5. Come on, Dan. Dan.
I have to say 4.
You
Yes!
son of a bitch.
Hey, I gotta take out my personal love for the movie, you know? Despite that, you know?
Just like me with Jason Part 8, dude.
You
I
disappoint
knew
me, Dan. You
Dude,
disappoint
you gotta
me.
take the passion out of this sometimes, so you don't sound like a total asshole.
I'm not disappointing you, Mike. Like, I like the movie. I just think, you know, you gotta look at it from a third-party perspective and take yourself out of it. You know what I mean? It's just, that's where it jumped the shark, bro. You know? It's tough to say, man.
Yeah, and that stupid, miserable dad who supposedly couldn't stop drinking. Please.
But, dude, that's realistic. It's really hard to stop drinking.
Not really, Mike. I quit drinking like 15 times already. It's not impossible. You're listening to The Skeleton Crew, Part 1 of When a Horror Franchise Jumped the Shark.
Yo, my motto, fuck lotto. I'll get the 7 digits for a doll from your mother tomorrow.
Wow. That's
He's burned that bridge. All right.
that's some words there, yep.
Are you sure you don't want to go back into obscurity? We got next
Yeah, we got next.
the Jaws franchise.
Yes.
Now, there's a clear-cut winner here.
Yeah. It's a hard one, fellas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see by the titles. What title do you think jumped the shark is what I want to know. You got Jaws. You got Jaws 2.
Mhm.
Then you got Jaws 3D.
Shit.
We're stopping there. Okay.
Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some pimpin' in it.
No, I was just saying, this movie's just filled with, like, all those awkward, stupid 3D scenes where something's coming right at the camera. You know, like that kind of stupid stuff, and it just does not play well on your TV. And then, isn't this the one where we find out that Jaws is a woman? I mean female?
Right.
Well, yeah, you know what would have made it better? Because they weren't, you know, it was around SeaWorld, too, like they were around that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, why would
I
SeaWorld
think-
associate themselves with that? What the fuck were they
Well,
thinking?
no, you know what I think would have made it better? If they would have had a subtitle, Jaws versus Shamu.
Right.
But well, there is one scene where, like, dolphins, like, pull people to safety when Jaws is attacking them. People are actually in the middle of the ocean, and whatever they're doing goes wrong, and these dolphins come over and like say, "Hey, grab onto our fin," and these guys,
it's Flipper.
Yeah, it's Flipper. They grab onto the fin, and these people away from the shark, and they survive.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. Like, that's Texas Chainsaw 2 compared to Part 1. That's this compared to Jaws 1. That's totally stupid. That is jumping the shark and...
Fucking stupid.
Oh, dude, and the effects when Jaws blew up, it was a total joke. Dude, if you can't...
You know what? And they blew him up before. They blew him up in Jaws 2.
No.
Wait,
Jaws 1.
actually, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Jaws.
They blew him up in
one,
1, and then he electrocuted him in 2, and then
Electrocuted him in
3,
2,
all
that's
bets
right.
were off because it was 3D.
Oh,
Yeah, that was retarded.
It was so bad. If you cannot properly execute an effect, why are you doing the effect?
Right.
Come on. I don't really have too much more to say about this. This is a gloss over.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say this too, though. Now, I know it was back then, Alex. I know. And that 3D compared to now is totally different. But would you agree that 3D done in certain situations, you know, like the Avengers, because we've seen that a few times now, I thought it was fucking awesome. It worked. It was cool. It was fun. It added to the fun. Now, that's just my opinion, but if done right, if executed correctly, it can work. But on a movie like, you know, Jaws, and you're trying to fucking throw everything at the camera, and it's just ridiculous. Like, you know, the Avengers wasn't shot to make things fly at your face. It obviously just, you know, they filmed it naturally, and it just added to it.
I don't know how they added it. I honestly don't, but it was definitely done to fly in
They
your face.
they did it post. Yeah, they did it post.
Some weird way. For example, it was like, remember that little bizarre, that yellow ship they were, like a weird submarine they were in?
Uh-huh.
It just leaps off of the screen.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? You ever see the original Clash of the Titans when, like, Harry Hamlin is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he's fighting these monsters and the two-headed dog and all that shit, but he was in front of a screen?
Right.
That's what it looked like.
You got it.
And it was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And well, whatever. All right. So we did Jaws 3. That's the third one. That's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get
Absolutely. Hands down.
Now let's get right to Scream 3.
Yeah. You're on drugs if you think that jumped the shark. Because I can tell you exactly where the movie jumped the shark. Can I tell you where?
Yeah.
Okay. Here it is. All right, I'll tell you right now.
Yep.
I'll tell you when the franchise, when it jumped the shark, and then when it came right back, because it's very easy for me to differentiate between the two.
Oh,
all right, what happens is, in Scream 2, Randy dies, it jumped the shark.
Dude.
And then 5 minutes later, it kind of comes back. And that's it.
Can you believe that this guy will let all of his opinions be totally tainted?
Dude, Randy was the driving force behind that film. And the fact that he makes a brief cameo in Scream 3 shows that it's a grade A film.
Yeah. Too bad the cameo is supposed to be him filming himself before he dies, yet he looks 5 years older in the video.
No, but he doesn't.
He's got a different haircut and shit. No, dude,
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a valid point, Mike, seriously. Like,
I
because of
disagree
Randy,
with you.
dude, that's bullshit.
It is. That is the only reason. That is the reason that it jumped. If they would have kept that character alive, it would have stayed on course throughout the entire franchise.
One of the most shocking moments in the Scream series, and that's why it's effective, because pretty much anybody can go, and if they do more Scream sequels, I wouldn't be surprised if Nev Campbell or David Arquette or Courtney Cox went, because they can off anybody. Dude, Randy was awesome, dude. He died, man. I hate it just as much as everybody else, but get over it.
Dude, let's break this down for real. Let's talk about, and Mike, you could refute every point.
Right.
Okay, maybe did it jump when Silent J and Bob made a cameo?
You mean Jay and Silent Bob, not Silent J. Oh,
Silent J.
Dude, whatever. Dude, when they walked in, come on.
That was amazing.
Dude, that was so hacky.
I thought it was great. It was one of the high points of the film. If they would have kept them in there a little longer and maybe had them get killed by Ghostface, that's the only thing that would have made it even better.
That would... Yeah, no, dude, it just takes you out of it. Remember when we mentioned the Rise of Leslie Vernon and Cabin in the Woods isn't...
Right.
we don't like the parts where they take you out of the fantasy of movies and they try to make like Jason, Michael, and Freddy or actual people.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this isn't Jason, Michael, or Freddy. This is Ghostface. This is a real person. So that's the thing. It's a real person under that mask because they die. They don't come back. Every movie, it's a different killer.
But those two guys were playing the characters. They would never hang out in real life. Dude, that was bullshit.
You want to bet? Dude,
get
Silent Bob is like Kevin Smith when he keeps his mouth shut.
We're done. Sydney having the dreams about her ghost mom and shit, like...
Horrible.
That was incredible. That scared the shit out of me when she would just appear.
Doesn't matter, though. Dude, it didn't fit in with the whole series. They
How
never
did it not
went to
fit
any
in?
dream sequences before, and they're going to go to
What
it
do
in the
you-
third one where
yeah,
it takes
but
place in
but it all
Hollywood.
goes. Yeah, but it all goes together later in the end of the movie when you find out it's her brother. It all plays in.
It does
totally
not, dude.
logical.
No, it does not. Dude,
yes, it does.
that was them desperately trying to reference the first movie to make you
Right.
feel like you're watching Scream 1 when it's a...
Yeah, but I
you're
did
not.
feel like that sometimes.
Oh, exactly.
Dude, they made up
Because
a stupid backstory. I liked Roman and all that, but dude, it was so stupid with all the ghost things. And you said it tied together, dude. It seemed like they basically forced that upon
Exactly.
you. For what? And first of all, how would Roman know that Sydney is having those dreams in order to scare her and
Because
come out
he's her
underneath
brother.
the thing and be all sketchy? Like, how would he know? It didn't make any
Because he's
sense.
her
Fuck
brother.
outta here.
They're linked. Brothers and
They're
sisters and
bullshit.
siblings and all that, they're
Bullshit.
linked. That's exactly what happens.
Dude, give me 2 of whatever you're on, Mike.
Yeah, dude, we need a bullshit button.
I disagree.
Bullshit.
Yeah, hey, listen, I want you to record a drop right now. Ready? Go ahead. Go ahead, Dan.
Bullshit.
All right, you guys will hear that probably after every sentence Mike says.
Yeah, right.
All right, you know what? I love Blu-rays, but then it revealed the fact that Jenny McCarthy has about 1,000 freckles on her tits. I have to admit, I would. I have no so that is shit.
Oh, so would I. Even though they are too big.
Alex, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel.
Okay.
They're like pillows,
Maybe I'll bleep that
but
out.
I don't like those.
Oh, here's what I want to ask you guys. Mike's probably more of an expert. Is the Scream voice consistent in all 4 movies? Was it the guy? Do you know for a fact?
Yeah, it's the same guy in all of them.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yes, it is Roger Jackson.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyway, like about when I was watching it, because once again I watched it for this show because I want a little refresher, and I recall about 40 minutes into this, I definitely realized I would not like this movie if I didn't like part 1.
Yep.
I don't think there's
Definitely.
anything good about this movie except for the fact it's continuing a great story.
Exactly. Well, there's more than that. But if you don't like the first one, then obviously you're not going to watch 2, 3, or 4. So
No, see, the whole thing with Scream 3 is actually, in my opinion, dude, it's ironic. And it's ironic in the sense that Scream is the quote-unquote meta movie or meta series, and that's exactly what Scream 3 was. It was so meta that it was stupid, dude. And you want to use that fucking term, a million times in that series, it's going to happen, I understand. But
no,
that
4 was
is
way
the
more meta
epitome
than
of
3,
it.
though, dude.
It was trying to be a Scream movie, and it wasn't. It
Right.
was basically a shell of a Scream movie, dude.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with anything. It had people dying, yes, but there wasn't any good chase scene. Like, look at the chase scene in number 2 with Gail, and in the suspense when they were going through that back room, and then she goes into the other room and throws the bookshelf type thing over the door, and he just barely gets in. Like, so suspenseful. Good stuff. Good.
Yeah, oh, that's
horror.
great when they're in that friggin' station and
Mhm.
she sees like Dewey in the recording booth or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he gets stabbed, he's like, "Whoa," and you see like
Incredible.
the blood spit out on the window. It was neat.
Right.
I loved it.
And what is with Gail's hair, dude, with those fucking ugly bangs, man? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like her hair much in 3.
And dude, that chick who replaced her, that blonde,
Parker
Posey.
Posey. Yeah.
she was
Posey.
such an ugly whore, dude, with the chain smoking every second. Oh God,
What are you, a reporter for Woodsboro High?
Oh my God, Carrie Fisher making a cameo and saying
Oh, come on, that was genius.
with that gross smoker's voice. Ugh, she's like, a lot of people do confuse me for her, and I tell him, if I was really her, would I be working here? Or like whatever she said.
I mean, really. I mean, it's just overdid everything. Like, Scream 2 was genius, dude. It was. It was a great sequel. But, you know, you look at Scream 3 compared to those other two, and, you know, whether you like it or not, it's just, I'm sorry, dude. If you say this is a good movie, you're on drugs or there's something seriously wrong with you. So
That's brilliant.
Like, yeah. Again, with the token black guy. Are you kidding me? Why don't you just hire Chris?
Oh, I got trivia for you guys. Do you know where that guy, Dion Richmond is his name, do you know what 80s sitcom he became a reoccurring character on?
Different Strokes?
No.
Bill Cosby Show?
The Cosby Show, you are exactly 100% correct. He was the daughter Rudy's friend.
That's
Kenny
right,
or
dude.
Bud.
That's
him? Yep, that's him, Dion Richmond.
Well, you know what's funny? How you said he's the token black guy? One of my favorite movies of all time, Not Another Teen Movie. That's exactly who he plays. That's his name. That's who he plays, dude. Yep.
And you know what? Like, the other scene that I thought was dumb, you remember how, like, that weird Loomis moment in Halloween when Loomis is standing outside the Myers house for hours, all through the night, and all of a sudden he just turns to the left and sees the Myers car?
Don't be blasphemous, sir. You're reaching the blasphemy point.
Sydney had a Loomis moment. She's sitting at this detective's desk for like hours, and then she just moves something over and sees a file of all her stuff on it.
That was amazing.
Mike, wouldn't she have like looked through that stuff as soon as she sat down?
No, because she's got her stuff on her mind, dude. People are dying around her. The last thing she wants to do is look through somebody's folders.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Roman's explanation for like why he killed and all this other stuff, that was good.
I liked it.
Yeah. It tied it together well. It's just too bad you had to sit through a dumb movie the whole time just to get to that part.
And what do you guys think about the original ending that they were supposed to have about Stu Marker coming back from the first one?
I would have liked it. I think that would have been neat.
See, I think it's hard to do, but I would have, I would have loved that too. But would it really have worked, do you think? I don't know. Because I think if they threw that in, that would have kind of maybe redeemed the movie. But like you said, Alex, I liked the way Roman's storyline played out. That was actually a good aspect of the movie. But that alone did not redeem the movie itself. Like, everything else was just trash. Like, it's almost like they had a good story, but if they really took it and did it totally different, and not in Hollywood and the way they did it, and kind of a Scooby-Doo-ish mystery type of thing, like, you know what I mean? If they would have done it differently, then I probably would maybe like this movie. I mean, who knows? Who knows what it would have been, but...
Yeah, one thing I hated, the jump scare, so lame. How do you survive a knife in your heart, dude?
Right.
Come on.
You do survive it. I'll tell you how you survive it. Because you survive it until that knife is pulled out. Because there's something, as long as the knife is in there, it's kind of like keeping things together.
I don't think that applies to a heart, Mike.
As soon as you take it out, that's when you die.
Mike, I think you're thinking of like when... I know what you're saying. It's like a plug. I don't think that applies. I don't think the heart can take a sharp... It can't even take a blood clot. How could it take a knife inside of it? I just don't see that.
The blood clot is blocking flow. The knife doesn't necessarily do that.
Forget about that aspect. Look at the fact that when she checks Roman, we're supposed to believe that he's dead. She even checks his pulse. That's complete bullshit, dude. That's a cop-out. And I heard in one of the commentaries that maybe, I think in a scene, or it was written, that it was explained that he did something to slow down his breathing or something. Dude, that's a total cop-out.
Right. That's the shark jumper. We got one vote. I know Dan got another vote. Mike, what are you going to say? Part 4 is?
No, not at all. I think Randy's death, and then it came back 5 minutes later.
You are insane, Michael J.
Yep.
He's still with that. All right. We hope you enjoyed the first installment of the Skeleton Cruise when a horror franchise jumped the shark. Stay tuned to the channel for future installments. Next week we will be back with our regularly scheduled show.
Arrivederci, baby.
Exactly where each horror franchise lost its good writing, direction, whatever you want to call it. It's
Pizzazz.
It's spark, it's fire. Where it all just went like
Oomph.
yeah. So, where do you want to begin? We could start with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a good one to start with.
All right, part 1, perfect, right?
Agreed.
I mean,
Yes.
it felt like real life. It felt like a documentary. The acting was solid as a rock. Filming was awesome. It was grainy. It was real. It was gritty. Awesome kills. It was shocking.
Shocking. And it had an effect on me. It really scared me. That was one of those movies that really got to me.
Yeah.
Edwin Neal as the hitchhiker scared me half to death.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
He's sitting there, he's like, ooh, and he has that switchblade, and he's like cutting his hand, and I'm like, ugh. I was hoping that the guy in the wheelchair in the van would die, though.
Here we go with Mike's gimp hate.
No, I just had to throw that in there. I hope that he would.
I thought you guys were supposed to band together.
No. Mike wants all the sympathy and attention.
You know.
Anyway. So anyway, yeah, when he was cutting himself up in that van, I felt like I was in that van with them, like going to release it every Tuesday and Friday for those 2 weeks. Now, the term jump the shark is a common reference to when a show or a franchise or series of movies go bad. But I'm going to give you a quick 30-second technical reason of why it's called jump the shark. Jump the shark is an idiom that is used to describe the moment in the
Wait, before we get to the jump the shark, please let me just tell you this. I just read it on Twitter, and it's amazing to me.
Mm-hmm. You
I think you'll appreciate it.
Totally unprofessional.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is how it works, I think, on this level. Yeah, on Twitter I read something just now, and I think you'll enjoy it, because I certainly did. Guess what was officially green-lighted? Or green-lit, I'm sorry, not green-lighted, green-lit.
Halloween 3.
No, this is even better than Halloween 3.
Friday 13th Part 2.
No, I wish, but no.
Can I get one more guess?
Yeah, okay, go ahead, give me.
Cum Receptacles 4.
No. No, this is even better than that.
Okay?
Okay?
Yeah.
It's the ABC Family series Melissa and Joey that stars Joey Lawrence and Melissa Joan Hart. It's been greenlit for a second season.
Looking at this guy, dude, that's how much that movie pulled me in right away. And I'll tell you what, this is no lie. When I first watched it, when I first got into quote-unquote modern horror, because I told you I was a classic guy before I became like a Jason, Freddy, or not, I never became Freddy, but Jason, Michael guy and all that stuff.
It's a good way to start, too.
Yeah. Classics are the good way. It's, because that way you appreciate them more than if you had to go back and see a more tame movie,
And plus you have a better understanding of the evolution of them, so.
Right, yeah, there you go. So, when I was done watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I seriously turned the TV off and just sat there for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
I'm not kidding. I really did. And I was about 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I still did that because I know I should have been like... I should have already been numb to that, but I don't know, man. I still thought it was that good. And I was shocked. Yeah. And then we get to part 2.
Oh, God.
No, Bill Moseley was great in that. Get him in the face! Get her! Get her! In the radio station?
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we know the radio station. Yeah, we get your reference.
Get it? Because it's your dog. Yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah.
This went horribly wrong. The comedy. Why? How do you watch part 1 and say, you know what part 2 needs? It needs to be...
Are you two still living?
Yeah, and what...
Dude, don't even bother saying a word. A boot has no quarrel with an ant.
I know, Loki J, but let me just get in one more. I swear, it'll be subtle. listening to the Skeleton Crew, exclusively on websites with more traffic than 4 people a month.
We decided that we didn't want to do 4 people. We weighed the option of doing that, and we thought that, we would try to branch out and get more people involved, which is a silly thing.
Oh, come on. You didn't really think I would ever do a single show there, did you?
Hey, Cat! For me, it's nothing but the best. All the time.
Yes, sir, I'm done slumming it up.
I know, and we're going to get back to shows that jump the shark in a minute, but right now, we just want to make a little announcement. Starting June 12th, we will be doing an in-depth look at the Sleepaway Camp franchise to kick the summer off like we should, with a little bit of Angela Baker. So look for those shows around June 12th. We're going to break it up into 4 parts. We're probably going to...
That's exciting.
Jump the shark is an idiom that is used, not an idiot like Mike, an idiom that is used to describe the moment in the evolution of a horror franchise when it begins to decline in quality that is beyond recovery. This usually takes place when the writers use some type of gimmick in a desperate attempt to keep viewers' interest. It referred to the point in a horror franchise's history when the protagonist had outlived his freshness and the viewers had begun to feel that the movie's writers were out of new ideas. The phrase "jump the shark" comes from a scene in the 5th season premiere episode of Happy Days, titled Hollywood Part 3, in an episode where a water-skiing Fonzie wearing swim trunks and his trademark leather jacket jump over a confined shark, answering a challenge to demonstrate his bravery.
Awesome episode.
Yeah, right. Now, when I was a kid and I saw Fonzie do that, I knew that something went wrong with this show.
Even at that young age, Alex, you could tell that they jumped the shark.
Yeah, well, at that young age, I said something went wrong with this show. Like, what is this? Mm-hmm. I think I really noticed when he was sitting on the beach and he was wearing his leather jacket.
I think an idea, two guys, can only go so far, you know?
Yeah, we're going to pinpoint